Welcome, everybody, to another week of Thunderdome Fantasy Weekly Report. It's the Commissioner, the Dragons GM. You can already see I wasn't prepared by you seeing me and John before I hit the 30-second countdown. I forgot to take everybody off the stage, and I was in the middle of doing it when it went into the show, but I was like, you know what, screw it. Let's just wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, when this thing ends.
Yes.
And here we are. It's all three of us this time.
And it's us. It's us, everybody. We're here.
We're here.
So this
Instead of one at a time like I'm doing, it's everybody. We're here, guys.
This is
all right.
This is going over the beginning of playoff weeks.
Exactly. Wild card week, guys. Wild card week results.
This is championship quarterfinal and the consolation quarterfinal.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and hear it for the upsets in wild card week. Two teams that lost in week 14 win in week 15 in the wild card, knocking number 3 and number 4 out of the playoffs. Now, number 3 and number 4 seed are now playing for the 5th and 6th place spot in the draft. Or not 5th and 6th place spot, sorry, the 7th and 8th place spots in the draft.
There you go.
That's it.
What was wild this week between both playoff brackets?
It was so close.
Only one of the favorites, or I say favorites,
projected favorites,
projected seeds won, and that was, of course, that was David.
Yep.
But he specializes in this time on the consolation bracket anyway.
Yeah.
So, this is right in his realm.
I thought Orange Crush was going to mop up the floor. So,
yep.
It was just a great game by both of you guys. He put up 240, I think. So, or 230.
I thought he had it. I really did.
You put up 240. So, it was a close game. Both games were very, very, very close. I couldn't believe how close they were going into Monday night. I was like, it comes down to Monday night. Like both games come down to Monday night.
By the way, the games were going back and forth. You could tell that these were two of the top teams. These are the two of the teams that deserve to be in the playoffs because they were playing exceptionally well. You know.
Yep. It was crazy though, because sitting there watching it, Ben was the only one that didn't have a player to go into Monday Night Football, and he was stuck at that 224 or something, 226. I can't. We'll find out here in a moment. But
that had to
he was stuck there, and he had like in between a 15-20 point lead, I believe, and Lindsay come back there with that Monday night, and
I have been in those situations before where like I was all tapped out. Still had Monday to go, and all I could do was sit there and watch my lead completely drop away. You know what I mean? That sucks. That has sucked. And knowing there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to sit there and watch it.
Yeah, you just have to watch. Yeah, and you can't even change anybody out because all your players have already paid. It's not like you had players, to even put in.
Good, bad, or whatever.
Exactly, man.
It was there was somebody that was in the game and scored.
And Ben was on the show last week, man. He was telling us it's his year, and it just had to be so heartbreaking on Monday night to be watching Lindsay's team just slowly inch back up in there.
Yep, he just slowly dismantled the whole thing and took just a chip, broke it away, and
same thing with the Angels and Orange Crush as well. Orange Crush had like a 20-point lead going in there, and then Angels just kept on creeping up there and creeping up, and then Julian Love did his shit, and it was like when Julian Love did what he did, it was off. I was like, okay, well that's the game right there. Jeff needed more from his side, and he wasn't gonna get it with that. I think Jeff had one player, and she had 3.
Yep.
And I was like, I don't think Jeff's one player is going to keep this league.
Yeah, it didn't work out in his favor in that one. It was bad. But he had. I want to say, he had a great year. Jeff had
this was his best season by far. This was his best season by far.
And hopefully from here on, it gets better for him. He's getting a lot better grasp on how to do, keep his roster, how to do his roster, and
especially defensive side. He was working that, but then he started getting a little discouraged towards the end because he started getting on that losing streak, and that's when he stayed. Those last couple of weeks, I see that he didn't move anybody around too much on the defensive side. He still worked his offense, but his defensive side, he just went with what he had, and a couple of those guys fluked out on him.
Yeah.
They were doing great when he had them in this early, but they just kind of fluked out towards the end. And same thing on my team. I've been working that damn defense, dude, and they just. Well, this is the first year that I've really felt like defense hasn't really been as impactful. With the new last year, I felt like it was. You could tell there was a lot of high scoring defensive players. This year, I feel like there's a few.
Yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong. Every week there's somebody up in the 20s. I mean, it's like there are, but new. It's not. It's always somebody new. Yeah, it's never the same consistency as it was last year. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. It's just that's how I feel. But you go back and look at the stats, and it doesn't really show how.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have your consistent guys. There are a few consistent guys, but sometimes it's harder for us to see them all until we get to this, and you start seeing them as top scorers every week, and so Danielle Hunter with Cush. I mean, it seemed like every time you looked at him going through the year, he was in the
top 3 defensive spot.
Yeah. So it's
and that's what I expect when I draft a player like Myles Garrett so damn high. I expect him to be in my top 3 defensive spots all year long. And I'm not getting that from Myles Garrett. I'm only getting that from him 5-6 games out of the season. And I'm not liking that. I'm getting a little I think, I might try a different strategy next season, really. I need to quit going so high after these defensive issues. Because the defensive line, I feel like defensive line is the weakest category there is when it comes to finding players, to run weekly.
Consistently. They are. And you can't.
Linebackers is the easiest. I don't know why we draft linebackers so damn high, because there are consistent linebackers that you can find in the middle of the draft. Matt Milano. I know he got injured this season, but I mean, you can find players like Matt Milano, Frankie Louvu. The other one for. I got him. The Saints, Demario Davis. You know what I mean? There's these consistent players that we don't think about. Because we're going after.
You can't run out there and grab a person based off their name, because, especially on the D line, because it's not even the guys that are getting sacks every now and then. It's not those guys,
Like Aaron Donald, man. Aaron Donald's been a disappointment, but you go look at his points and you're like, okay, he's got 100 points in fantasy, and then you look at his, it's slow, 8-point here, 5-point here, 3-point here, 1 point here, 7-point here.
It's all over the board, and you don't ever know when you're supposed to, whenever a good time to start them. I mean, you can look at who they're going against, but that's not always a given,
Yeah. And I've tried that a couple times this year, and it's backfired on me. Go and look at a defensive lineman that played against the offensive line the week before and see how many sacks he got, and he'd be like, okay, well, yeah, he got 4 sacks last year. Well, let me go get the equivalent of this player on this team going against that same offensive line.
Right.
And they get nothing. They get put down, get half a point for a half a tackle assist or whatever. Right. And you're like, what?
That's like me. So this week, I said, you know what? Will Anderson Jr. He was questionable. Everything else, the matchup, I was like, all right, let me see if I can find something, not necessarily better, but a better scorer or somebody that might, is potentially set up for a better score.
Yeah.
After the game the Seahawks played, and how Leonard Williams played for the Seahawks against Philadelphia, and then seeing who they're playing coming up. Let's see, I'm trying to remember. Seahawks are playing Jets this week. No, I can't remember. Seahawks are playing somebody this week that it seemed like a better matchup as far as him being able to put pressure and actually putting up points. So I said, okay, I'll pick him up, roll the dice, see what we get as far as somebody to score. And he's been about as consistent as you can get for a D lineman lately. So I said, well, you know what? I got to try it. I got to do something different and try to give myself any advantage I can, because I haven't had success this year against the Angels. So I've got to do something to try to ensure that I'm set up for that, No, it's not on you. It's my player.
I've been doing the same thing. I got 2 people on my defense right now that are projected 0 points, but you go back and you look at the points they've put up over the past couple weeks, and you're like, and are they going to do those same things, or am I going to get another dud? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. At this point, I'm just like, screw it. I'm gonna rock with it. If it's my year, it's my year. If it's not, it's gonna be between Angels and Hendricks Mafia, and we'll have another new beginner, new winner, and I'll get my chance at a first-time trophy or a 2-time trophy next year. I'll as long as that stays open. If I don't win, as long as that stays open, I'm good.
We have a chance.
Both losing this business, because once it goes to championship week, if I lose in championship week and it's against John, I'm fucked. So I don't get that chance again. And I'm never going to hear the end of it again.
Knowing my luck, though, John's going to get it this week. Third time.
Come on now. Because I don't want to hear that. I want to hear 3-0, 3-0 Tango in the trailer.
No, you want to know the craziest stat?
Now, okay?
And this is a bunch of ifs. This is a bunch of ifs. But if the Angels make it through this week, and if the Angels make it to the Thunder Bowl and win, they could have very well been a back-to-back champion.
How do you spell heart?
Asterisk style.
Well, for the most part,
we all know that.
Whether it be asterisk or not, they're very well. Everything was in place. If she wins this year, everything would have been in place. She would have been the first back-to-back. Not even 2-time. We're talking about back-to-back.
Yeah, I know.
But that's
back-to-back champions or back-to-back championships.
Well, she would have been a back-to-back champion if she would have been.
Because I've been to back-to-back champions. I've been to back-to-back championships. I just haven't won them. I won won 1 year, and then I lost the second year against Chris in the championship.
That's right. But
I could have won back-to-back championships, but I lost to Chris the next year in the championship.
But you have to admit, if she wins this year, she would have been closer than you as winning 2. She would have been closer than you came because
basically
nobody died in your game.
I only lost last year because someone had to die on the field.
Yeah. I know, Dan.
And then default slipped in and souped it up.
Oh my God, we're on this again, son of a bitch.
I know, guys.
I
know.
I'm saying
what could have, should have, what could have. I know what could have.
I could have been 2 times.
But we're talking.
What could have been. I know we're talking ifs.
Anyway.
We're not talking. I understand. That big
John started it. John started it.
That big eye. Okay,
I only started it because
look at it.
Fucking.
All right. Well, let's get started with the first game.
Yeah. Damn, we're 15 minutes in and we ain't even got to the game yet. Oh, damn. Man, I gotta go get me some fucking food.
DK.
All right, number 3, Orange Crush facing off against the number 6 Angels. Number 6 Angels take down the number 3 Orange Crush. The first upset of the playoffs. 6 seed taking down the number 3 seed. See if she can keep it moving up against the number 1 seed in the next game. But as of now, we'll pass it over to John with the top scores and the score of the game and all that fun stuff too.
All right. So the Angels take down Orange Crush by the score of 244.60 to 233.46 for a grand total of.
It's a point difference of 11.14.
11.14 point differential.
Mm.
Yeah, 11 points.
Mm.
All right. So the top scorers for the Angels, Cooper Kupp had 25.10 points.
Ooh.
Jalen Hurts had 21.92 points. And CeeDee Lamb had 18.60 points. On the defense, Julian Love had 21.50 points. Jonathan Greenard had 21 points. And Indianapolis defense had 17 points. For the Orange Crush, Jake Browning had 22.96 points. Curtis Samuel had 21.10 points.
That's
and Raheem Mostert had 18.30 points. On the defense, Bradley Chubb had 34 points. San Francisco defense had 15 points. And Zach Seiler had 11.80 points.
Sealer,
whatever. Seal.
Good job.
Sure.
I mean,
Player of the game, I am giving to Julian Love for having a hell of a game against Philly, scoring 21.50 points.
Yeah.
To give her the help give her the win.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when his
big
Chubb
win.
took off, I thought it was done for.
Yeah. Well, it didn't work out that way.
Big win. Facing the number 1 Hammerheads in semifinals week.
Tangle of the Trailer Park 3.
Gumbo drop.
I will get into that next game. The number. Oh, sorry.
I have not wanted to go 1-3 so bad in my life in a matchup. I want to go 1-3. I don't give a damn about the other 2 games. If I can win this one, this is the one that counts. I got to get to this one.
Thought it was 1 and 2.
It'll be 1 and 2, yeah. It'll be one of 3, but it'll be 1 and 2, yeah.
Sorry,
yeah.
That's what I was meaning to say. 1 of 3.
Yeah, be 1 of 3. 1 and 3, 1 of 3, 1 and 2, yeah. 1 and 2, yeah.
1 and 2.
Out of the 3, 1 of them would be great for you. Is this one? Yes, I understand that.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get into that next matchup real quick before we get into all the rest of this smack talk for next week. Number 4, Sin Eaters facing off against the number 5 Hendrix Mafia. Number 5 Hendrix Mafia take down the number 4 Sin Eaters in this one. Pass it over to John with those scores and everything else.
All right. Score of that one, Hendrix Mafia 234.46 to Sin Eaters 226.10 for a differential of
8.36.
8.36. That was a tight one. Leading scores for Hendrix Mafia. Terry McLaurin had 27.10 points. Kenneth Walker III had 20.20 points. And Trey McBride had 20.20 points. On defense, Miami had 29 points. Montez Sweat had 23 points. And Bobby Wagner had 9.50 points. For the Sin Eaters, Jordan Addison had 29.10 points. Patrick Mahomes had 19.70 points. And James Conner had 17.90 points. On the defense, Cleveland defense had 23 points. Danico Autry had 18 points. And TJ Watt with 16.50 points.
Huh.
Player of the game, I went with Montez Sweat. 23 points. From the aforementioned defensive end position.
Big game.
Yep.
I mean, huge win for Hendricks Mafia too. After that big loss in week 14,
right?
To get back on path. Could have been a start onto the wrong way for him, but he was able to get back on track.
He could have very well been completely out of the playoffs altogether. He was.
Mm-hmm. And Ben just wasn't able to. I mean, he got it going. Don't get me wrong. Compared to the week before, because the week before is the one where he barely skated. Well, I mean, he didn't barely skate past Los Patos. He beat Los Patos, but
yeah, he
barely as far as his points. He put 180 something, where Los Patos put like 130 or something last week. Yeah. So, yeah, he just wasn't able to get it going for the playoffs, man. And it's rough. It's rough. Maybe
sometimes the players just don't show up, man.
I know. Or is it the smack talk? Is it the jinxing of the smack talk? You know what I mean?
Very well could have been. I mean,
I ain't smack talking nobody because I know better.
That's why I try not to do that crap no more, man. That stuff get me in trouble every time.
Ben don't believe in that superstitious stuff, so he's gonna just say it's just rough.
I'm gonna tell you, Ben, for future reference, 60% of the time it happens all the time.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
What happened when we put those crowns on?
Exactly. I'm telling you, I know.
You know where they're at now? On the shelf.
I believe me bragging about trying to be the first back-to-back champion in Thunderdome is what lost me the championship against Chris.
Well, I have no problem with us voicing our that we would like to win. Because I mean, I'm not going to say
I would like to win, exactly. I mean, I would love to win.
I'm not going to say that.
But I'm trying to
no.
I'm trying to be humble.
Yeah,
I'm trying to be humble. Every team that is in the playoffs is here for a reason. That's why we got to be humble.
Have you watched Bye Bye Barry on Prime?
Not yet. I was going to. Yeah.
You need to go on Prime. Go watch Bye Bye Barry. Fantastic show. Fantastic.
Right.
And I'm not just saying that because I'm a huge Barry Sanders fan.
Oh, I know.
Go back and watch it.
I seen it, and I was like, I might have to go watch that.
Fantastic. You talking about humble? You don't get more humble than that, dude. I'm telling you right now.
All right, well, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The championship bracket. Moving along, we got the number 4 seed Sin Eaters facing off against the number 3 seed Orange Crush in the battle for the 7th and 8th pick of next year's draft.
Yep.
Whoever loses will get the better pick, the better pick of next year's draft. They'll get the 7th pick. Whoever wins gets the 8th pick. So still set your lineups. Don't be assholes trying to get the better pick. Just
trying to get one position better than the other.
trying to, because you're already screwed with where you're drafted in the middle of the draft any damn way. So don't try to just be like, well, screw it, I'm gonna get the better pick. At least set your damn lineups, guys. I don't care if you set them to lose. Just set your lineups. I honestly don't I don't mind how you do it. Just make sure that everybody in every roster spot is playing this week. There better not be no injuries, no BS, no.
Like, the hell with it. I'm not even going to put anybody in. I don't give a shit what happens.
I will penalize. You will both lose your damn first round picks, and you will get them at the end of the first round. So instead of you getting them at 6th and 7th and 8th, you'll get them in 11th and 12th. That's how serious I am. I will penalize you. Do not fuck around with your lineups in the playoffs just because you lost the fucking first round of the playoffs. You play the rest of the playoffs. Now consolation bracket, I don't give a damn if y'all gave up and you know what I mean. It is what it is. Y'all got y'all's draft spit locked. If you want a horse's ass trophy, you'll put your fucking lineups together and try to play. Otherwise, whatever, it is what it is. That's your choice. I mean, me personally, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna try to get that horse's ass, but right now, I'm trying to stay in this playoff. But,
y'all want this bad enough?
Exactly. Even the consolation bracket gets a prize, guys. So I mean, but just because you lose, don't mean shit. I mean, but in that championship bracket,
I can't speak for everybody else, but I can't stand to lose, and I don't give a damn what the rank said. So if I'm down at the bottom, you best believe I'm coming as best I can every week. I'm coming.
I just set my lineup for Titletown, and I'm in the consolation bracket of Titletown, and I just went and fucking dropped the people and fucking. I don't give a shit. I play.
Yep.
So I take this shit seriously when it comes to my championship bracket in this league, because it does come down to that 7th and 8th draft pick. Don't just fluke out on me just because you didn't get that shit. You will lose your fucking draft picks. I know shit happens, and maybe you missed one person that was questionable or something before the game at 4 o'clock, and you weren't paying attention or something. That's fine. But if at the start of Sunday, if you got somebody that is out in the damn thing and you ain't changed them, and you play with it as, I'm gonna penalize your ass. I'm gonna fucking penalize your ass. You're in the fucking. You don't do that shit. It's not cool.
I mean, it's fun that way, you know.
And I'll put this in the chat too.
People have been like that before.
Exactly. I will play. I've been in leagues like that. People give up whenever they don't win, and that just means that the next person, you know what I mean, they're setting their lineup, and then they're gonna get an easy win against this person. That's just no. I don't like that shit.
And you know, at the end of the day, is as nice as it would be to have the very first pick of the draft, or as nice as it would be to, you know,
that's why the consolation bracket don't count. That's exactly why the consolation bracket don't count, because I don't want people not playing just to get the first round pick or the first overall pick.
Over all these years, I have drafted all over the draft board. I mean, whether it be the first pick, the third pick,
6th pick,
last,
7th pick,
I've done a whole fucking 9 yards, and I'm still winning. I don't give a shit. I'm still winning. I don't give a damn where I draft. That don't matter to me. I draft last every year if I've got to. I don't care.
I love like 10 through 12. That's like my sweet spot. I like that.
Yeah, because look, I'm gonna tell you right now. For the most part, I don't make my draft off the first few people.
No.
Because a lot of times they end up injured or not performing as well as they should any damn way.
Shit, I try to make those my first two studs. The ones I don't have to worry about. I try to,
but look at my first pick this year. Jahmyr Gibbs.
Hey. Me too, bro. Me too, bro. I think I grabbed Debo. I think I grabbed Debo in the first round, and Debo got injured like week 3 and was out a bunch of weeks until he came back. And then Najee Harris, I got him in the second round, and he shitted up all damn year.
Now Gibbs is playing good now. Beginning of the year, he started slow. He's a rookie. I get it. I had to go through the bumps and bruises, but then turn around and look at Devontae Adams. He has definitely not had the same year that he had before.
He don't have Carr, and he don't have Rodgers.
I mean, he's still trying to get with this new quarterback, but he was a round pick.
Dude, yeah, that's a crushing pick too.
Yeah.
Because you think that's gonna be your stud. That's your number one receiver at that point. Yeah, you got Metcalf. Yeah, you got Brown, but you're like, boom, I got my number one, Adams.
Yeah.
Bow. Now I got Metcalf and Brown at 2, and then I got the other one in my number one flex spot. So now I got 3 guaranteed spots locked for each week. I think the same way, man. I think the same way whenever I go after my players. I try to line them up with my keepers.
My draft strategy changes year to year, and it I know it's weird to say that, it's having the same keepers that I've had for the past I don't know how long, but my strategy changes depending on who everybody else has. You know, you got to think about everybody else's keepers when you're going into the draft, or you ain't gonna be able to draft nothing.
Yeah,
so
that's my thing. Got to lock the right keepers in. That's where I feel like I might have made a mistake this year with my off season messing around. I mean, don't get me wrong, Henry hasn't been the player that he always was, and that does benefit me next year because the draft got screwed up this year. But I mean, it'll benefit me next year. I'll get them 2 7th-round picks next year rather than this year. But it just.
Well, I mean, it may or may not. It really depends on. There's a lot of shit that depends on. You know what I'm saying? There's injury. You know, and I ain't no bad juju on nobody.
I kind of feel like I did get the better end of the draft of that because I got a 7th-round pick out of the deal, and Henry does look to be out in Tennessee. He looks to be on the. He looks to be not on his decline. Not on his decline. I'm not gonna say the man's on his decline. I'm not gonna say that. The man's a beast.
But he's gonna be in a different place.
I bet he'll be in a new place next year. Yeah.
All right, let's do a quick rundown of the consolation. Let's give them a little bit of love. I mean,
no. That's next. This is they're getting ready for that Josh Bowl.
Yeah.
They want the horse's ass.
Exactly. Y'all want the horse's ass trophy, man.
That's what it looks like.
Y'all better play.
The David Godinez commemorative trophy.
Well, we'll see this year. We'll see this year. We'll see this year. If he wins it again, it will be sponsored by his ass. It'll be the damn Josh Bowl sponsored to you by Thad Castle's team.
All right.
CEO David Godinez of Thad Castle's team. Shit.
Well, speaking of Thad Castle's team.
Yeah. The only one to be projected.
The
only one to be projected to be win.
Yeah, exactly. The only plus seed. Oh man.
What is he, 9th?
Yeah, 9th seed. Thad Castle.
He beat Chris? He beat Chris. Number 12?
199.90 to 168.86 for a differential.
Chris had a rough year, man. Chris had a rough year.
Difference is 31.04.
31.04. Wow.
Looking at
highest of the week.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Highest of the week.
Yep.
No.
Absolutely.
No. Second highest.
No, it wasn't. As a matter of fact,
second highest of the week.
We'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get that one.
Well, it's the consolation bracket. Some people don't play that, so I'm sure JC probably set his lineup once he didn't make it to the playoffs. He was like, "Man, this bullshit."
Nah, he's he had a bye week this week.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
and Sean had a bye week too. That's right.
Lucky little man.
Leading scorers for Thad Castle's team. Joshua Palmer had 21.30 points.
What?
Lamar Jackson had 20.54 points. And Jarrett McKinnon had 18.16 points. On defense, Rayshawn Jenkins had 20.80 points. L'Jarius Sneed had 16.50 points. And Fred Warner and Jason Pinnock had 14.50 points apiece. League scores for Bucks Life. Chris Godwin had 25.50 points. T. Higgins had 22.10 points. And Ezekiel Elliott had 9.60 points. On the defense, Eric Kendricks had 18.50 points. Cincinnati's defense had 11 points. And, okay, get ready for this list. Jordan Battle, Greg Rousseau, Frankie Louvu, and Tony Adams round out the third place scores with 6.50 points.
Good Lord.
Yeah. Which actually, you think about it, I would take 4 defensive players scoring 6.50. I mean, 650 is not bad out of a defensive player.
That's 13 points between 2 people. That's 26 points between 4 people. That's not bad.
No, I mean, especially if you're not counting on your defense to score a whole lot.
Exactly. You're not counting on them. I'm greedy.
I'm
greedy. I really will say that. When it comes to my fantasy, I'm greedy as shit. If my players ain't putting 10 points or more anywhere on my fucking team, I don't care if you're my kicker. If you ain't putting 10 points or more up on my damn team, you shouldn't be on my damn team.
Me too.
I will be collectively shopping, looking for somebody consistently putting 10 points or more on the fucking board. It's just how I am.
They could just be having a bad week.
And now, when it comes to my quarterbacks, it's worse than that. It's like if you ain't putting up 18 points or more a week, sometimes it's like 20 points or more. If they're having a good year, if they're not putting 20 points up, if they start putting 18, 17, 16, I'm looking for ones putting 20 points up on the damn board.
Look, it's like this with a quarterback. If you are the highest paid player and you are the one that is getting their hands on the damn ball the whole time, your ass better be at least a 20 point per game.
Yep.
If you're not, I don't want you. I don't want you on my team. That's why I was so questionable about Jordan Love, and then I'd be damned if he didn't turn out to be that 20 point per game guy.
And he turned around. Yeah, exactly. And another thing is with the yardage, we've thought about taking the yardage down to what it is with everybody else. 1 yard is 0.01 or whatever.
Those would
be exactly. Our quarterback would then, instead of having every 25 yards as a point, it'd be every 10 yards as a point.
Right.
So
a 300-yard game and have 30 points off yardage. That's
300 divided by I mean, it'd be close. It wouldn't be 30, but it'd be close.
It would be excessive.
Right.
Let's see, 300 yards divided by 10. It's 30. Yeah, it is 30 fucking points. Holy shit!
Look at that. I went to Dixie County and I can still do math. Look at that.
Awesome. He used the calculator.
I'm sitting here, been staring at the damn thing the whole time. I'm telling you right now, there's no calculator involved. When it comes to making those figures, I know how to do it.
Phones have calculators. Anyway, no, I'm just playing. I mean, it would get excessive for quarterback points if we took it up like that. So having 4 points between 100 yards rather than 10 points through 100 yards.
Yeah,
I'll take that. But yeah, I agree with you. 20 points from a quarterback, yeah. And that's another thing. That's why we don't have a dual quarterback league, a super flex league, or whatever they want to call it.
I mean, I've had people ask me about super flex, and I'm like,
that gets way too extensive because then you only got 32 quarterbacks in the damn league that are starting.
Right.
So we're taking 24 of them right off the damn bat. Then you want to get a backup for those two for their bye weeks. Guess what?
After a while, you gonna have
that's the whole league.
Yeah.
24 plus 12 is 36. There's 4 teams not getting the backup.
Unless they can balance them out just right.
They're
Or if they just go steal a nice person that they know, like if they go get the backup quarterback for the Ravens because they know Lamar is going to get hurt or something,
Yeah.
or you go get the quarterback for
That sounds like me, right?
like say you went and got Zach Wilson just because of his name, and then boom, Aaron Rodgers got hurt. Boom, guess who got shitted out of there? Aaron Rodgers' team, because you just and I'm guarantee you the person that got Aaron Rodgers didn't draft Aaron Rodgers to be his third QB on his team. He drafted him to be his one or number two on his damn team. And it also screws the draft up as well. It also screws the draft up as well. People don't draft, their receivers and their running backs and everything first. They're going after quarterbacks in the first, second, and third round because they're trying to get their damn quarterback so they make sure that and that shit just screws everything up.
Well, so my argument has always been this. Anytime anybody's asked about a super flex, I've been like, let me ask you a question. How many quarterbacks are on the field at one time? That's my argument. You don't see him sporting two quarterbacks on a goddamn field at one time. Not unless one of them's Cordell Stewart. I mean, it's different. I can understand.
Taysom Hill.
Yeah. But Taysom Hill's a tight end, dude. He ain't even a fucking quarterback.
On Sleeper, he's registered as a quarterback and a tight end. But on Yahoo, he's only registered as a tight end. So I get what you're saying.
You got to see enough snaps.
He's got not enough snaps. He's got to start enough games in that position.
Right.
For the quarterback position, for the tight end, you're right. He don't have to start because you're not guaranteed to start anyway. It's just whatever you're playing as the snaps.
Yeah.
Tell him to put me on backstage for a minute. Aubrey's thrown up.
Okay. Backstage, please.
Got it.
All right. Well, that's interesting.
All right. Well, we'll get in the last game, which was
the Kush Crushers
facing off against the
Legend Killers.
Legend Killers get the win in this one?
No, the Kush Crushers come away with the win. 229.
He said he won the horse's ass this year.
Yeah, 229.12 to 141.60. Yeah. That was that was a rough one. And I am looking for the differential. Hold on just a second. And that is it's an 87.52 point
differential.
Point differential. Yeah. That was it.
Man.
So that was the most of the week.
And that means Kush is going to face off against Los Patos.
Sean.
Oh, Crimson.
Yep.
And Thad Castle is going to face
Sean
against.
was the top seed of the lower bracket.
And Kush was the lower seed of that bracket. He'll play, Yep. So Los Patos faces off against Thad Castle's team, while Crimson Elephants faces off against the Kush Crushers. The winners of these will face off against each other in the Josh Bowl, and we'll see if that's going to turn into a sponsored thing.
Right. We'll see if the sponsor changes on that.
Yeah, we'll see if the sponsor changes on that game.
I'm telling you,
we'll see if Thad Castle's team sneaks his way into that fucking game again. I swear he's been in that shit 4 of the 6 years, and he's won it. And he's won it twice.
So,
or no, I think it was 3 of the 6 years, and Lindsay and Miller were in it 2 of the 6 years. That's why it's called the Josh Bowl.
Yeah. So the offensive players of the week. I say players of the week because Crimson Elephants didn't play this week. It was really kind of pointless.
Yeah, if nobody played on the teams that were on bye, or if whoever scored on the byes, that doesn't count. They were on bye. So it's
All
the
right,
top score of whoever played.
Yeah, so McCaffrey actually had the most points scored for the week, but of the people that played, Jared Goff.
So
With
Chris Crusher, Jared Goff. All right.
41.12.
So how many did Dan McCaffrey have? If he had 41,
48.
Holy shit, McCaffrey went off.
Yep. And
Yeah,
defensive player of the week, Bradley Chubb.
Bradley Chubb for the
Orange Crush had 34 points.
Oh, Orange Crushies. Crazy. All right, well.
I did not pull a coach of the week because
No, there is no. It's playoffs. We don't have coach of the week in playoffs.
I didn't figure we did because not all the coaches played. That's kind of
because we're going to do comeback coach of the year and coach of the year after championship week. So Thunder Bowl week. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, it is championship week because you got the Thunder Bowl and the Josh Bowl. So
right. Sorry, I got all my papers here.
So there you have it, guys. That in the constellation bracket, battling for the Josh Bowl, you have the number 7 Crimson Elephants facing off against the number 11 Cush Crushers, and you have the number 8 Los Patos facing off against the number 9 Thad Castle's team.
She's back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And then in the championship bracket, we have the number 1 Hammerheads facing off against the number 6 Angels. And we have the number 2 Dragons facing off against the number 5 Hendrix Mafia.
Hendrix Mafia. Woo! You know what's wild? So
good luck, Kevin.
I'm trying, man. I'm dear fantasy Lord.
Look at the style. Look at the quarterbacks that we have to go against.
Yeah.
You've got Josh Allen you're going against.
Yeah. I know.
I gotta go against Hurd.
You know how I was losing all my bets earlier in the year? Well, and I made that joke about, I'm going to go bet on the people that I'm playing against.
Right.
I did it. I went and put money on Josh Allen, Terry McLaurin, Kenny Walker, Devon Chain, just a bunch of people off of his team and another team that I'm playing against in the Truth Serum tournament that I'm in. So I just went and put some money against all these players that I'm playing against, and I'm hoping I jinxed all these teams and I get my win this week. But that's just me trying to play the jinx role. If I don't, hey, maybe I'll win some money this week.
Hey, you gotta have a plus. You gotta find a win in there somewhere.
Leave it alone.
Well,
yeah.
Darn, I missed the high differential of the week, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. I had to
tell
somebody.
The little mascot not feeling well, huh?
Too much candy today.
That's why she should be a dragon and not an angel.
Nope, she's always my angel. So, Evan, who's your favorite?
Olivia.
Oh, it's all.
Oh. So we're the Hem Drag Angel? Hem Dragul? We're the Hem Dragjuls?
We're the Hem Dragjuls?
Hem Dragnuls.
No, we need to start that out with the Angels since they were your favorite first. Can you do that one?
Okay.
Okay, so that would be Ainge, Hem, or Ainge Drag Hem. I did it alphabetical.
Yeah.
Ainge Drag Him. She likes that one. Ainge Drag Him.
Drag Him.
Ainge Dragon Heads.
Dragon Heads, yeah. A Dragon Head. A Dragon Head. Take my SOA, take your a head dragon.
That's bad.
Head of dragon.
They're picking on Mama.
Uh-oh, here we go. You know what it is. The end of the
About
show.
time.
Here he
Man,
is.
Kush rolls in.
Close your eyes if Kush is here.
Here's that one battling for that ass. That horse's ass, that is.
Getting that ass.
Do me a favor. Go back to the living room.
Only one to put up 200 in the consolation bracket.
He don't even want to be on the show. Look at that. He's like, yeah, I'm just hanging out.
Oh, there he is.
My bad. Sorry.
And the game has kicked off.
Oh,
I didn't even hear the message go off, and Joni was like, "Really? I heard your phone go off," and I'm like, "No, I didn't even know they sent the message." And I seen it was 5:51. I'm like, "Oh man, they ain't even on that shit." I go try, and here y'all are.
We are at the ass end of it.
we got a late start.
We literally just wrapped up all the leading scores and all that stuff. So yeah,
We just got done doing this week's matchups. You're facing against the number 7 Crimson Elephants.
yep.
The number
Again.
8 Los Patos against the number
So-
9 Ten Castles team.
Hey man, so Sean said, I said, "Oh, did you see who you get to play next week?" He's like, "No, I haven't even had a chance to look yet." He said, "Let me go in there and look." He goes, I feel like we've played each other like 8 times this year."
I know we've played each other at least 3 times, bro.
Yeah. There was 2 in regular season because he, let's see, it was close to the end of the year and y'all played twice.
Yeah, it was almost like
the last game of the regular season, and then like 3 or 4 weeks before, or something like that.
almost like the Vikings with the Lions, bro. They play the Lions this week. They play I don't even know who next week, and then the last game of the season they play the Lions again. I was like, man, they set that up thinking, hey, that's
Dude,
an easy
it was
win.
the same thing with the Chiefs and the Broncos. Chiefs and the Broncos played each other, then they played another team, and then they had a bye week, and then they played Chiefs and Broncos.
Yeah. I feel like the Vikings set that. Well, I know that the NFL sets that one up, but like the Vikings probably looked at their schedule and was like, "Oh shit, we got Detroit," not knowing that Detroit was going to be a powerhouse.
And the thing that gets me is when you're going to look at the matchups, you're like, oh, yeah, they play each other 2 times a year, you know what I mean? Because they're divisional matchups. And then you go look for the other match, and they play each other week 18, and you're like, well, it's week 16. What the fuck? You don't play until week 18. Like, I thought they played already earlier in the year. Now I got nothing to judge off of. Here we are in the playoffs. I got to go by his other games.
It does suck on that aspect of it for sure because
right there.
like
but I don't want to put week 18 as the championship week. That's just I just don't want to do that. If there's
starting that week,
exactly, if there's somebody that goes on bye or not bye week, if there's somebody that gets benched for playoffs or something because they already locked their seed in the playoffs, you know what I mean?
Right. See, I feel like I'm running into that right now with Allen because Keenan Allen, this is his 2nd week now in a row that he's out, and as far as I've heard, he ain't rocking no injury, bro. So I almost wonder if they're like, all right, well, they don't know, like they're going into this week with a new coach, right? So
and new quarterback too. Well, it's rough over there in Los Angeles with them Chargers.
Yeah. I am debating. He's the only one that I'm debating heavily on as far as keeping because of not knowing what's going to happen with the Chargers, bro. There's going to be a new coach, a new GM. For all we know, there could be a new QB. I don't know. They'll probably keep Herbert, but
yeah. I mean, Herbert is not the type of quarterback that you necessarily want to get rid of. You know, he is that. He's got all the skill set to be that generational guy.
Yep. And I think he's got the perfect offensive coordinator in friggin' Kellen Moore, who loves to throw the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
Kellen was a good pickup for them. I
Yeah.
feel like.
I don't know, man, but I can't really say that because their offense is really not picked up. It kind of looks the same as it did last year, honestly. Their running game is worse, in my opinion, because
Okay,
of that
That
pickup.
is.
Like, Eckler has lost, like, everything.
okay,
Well, you know,
but let's be real here. Is
I
it
mean, don't
really
get me
the
wrong, it
offense?
was a great pickup. It was a great pickup. I'm just saying, in the first year there, it hasn't made no progression yet. And now that they just fired the fucking head coach, how's that going to go for Kellen Moore next year? Is he still going to get that job, or he going to lose that job too with the new coach coming in?
I
You
mean,
know what I mean?
look at the Chargers
And that's
defense.
gonna fuck with Herbert as well, because that's gonna be another whole system that he's gonna have to deal with.
I don't think they'll get rid of Moore. I think they need to look at their defense a little bit more because
yeah.
their
Well, you know,
defense contributes to the running game. Not they're having to play from behind, bro. Like
Yeah.
straight up.
Because they're not going to run the ball if they're having to play from behind. They're going to have to pass. They're automatically in passing if they're behind.
Like no disrespect to James, right? They put a lot into James, and he's just not producing like he should be, bro.
I think he's honestly trying to save himself from injury because he's been injured so many damn times.
That's true.
I think he's playing a little softer now to have a longer career.
Right.
And you can't really blame him.
And a lot of defensive players do that. If you notice Eddie Jackson over the past couple of years, Eddie Jackson, whenever we first started Thunderdome, was one of the top defensive safeties to have for a fantasy player. And that was even before big play, big points. That was him getting 10 to 12 points just for tackling every damn game.
Right.
Now you see Eddie Jackson get that once, maybe every 5-6 weeks. Like, he's not that star anymore. He's a star name, but he's not that star tackler like Ed Reed or friggin' Brian Dawkins or Ronnie Lott, motherfuckers that were going to play. Troy Polamalu, like, those motherfuckers going to play. They don't give a damn they get injured or not. They going to play.
Didn't the same happen?
I see it a lot. I see it a lot these days with defensive backs and how they play, to save their career, basically. Like receivers, they don't try to save their career. They play because I mean, look at Pittman. Pittman should not have dove for that ball. He should have let it fucking go. He tried to make a play, and that defensive back tried to stop the play, which is all he tried to do. He didn't try to maliciously kill the guy.
No,
I take Tom Brady's advice on the shit over any of them's advice because Tom Brady's a fucking star quarterback, been on the field, been in that situation, and if he says you shouldn't have threw that fucking ball, you shouldn't have threw that ball, that you threw that ball in the wrong spot. Bitch, you threw that ball in the wrong spot. Like that's just
saying, bro. Pittman should have got up, went to the sideline, and socked Minshew in the jaw, bro. And I would have condoned it.
Pittman should have hit Minshew right in the fucking face. Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm not trying to say violence is the.
Minshew Pittman shouldn't have did shit. Minshew should have slapped his damn self for that shit. Like he should have walked off the damn field, slammed his helmet, and slapped the shit out of himself because that's not a fucking that was on him. The guy was wide open. The guy was wide open. You could have hit him in stride.
And that's the bad part. The way it is now, that's how most of these quarterbacks are now, man. They don't. They're slinging it and not and putting in the receivers in different positions.
Yeah,
and they should never.
The skill set is not as exactly. I agree with that 100%. Everybody blows up Tua Tagovailoa and Lamar Jackson and all these quarterbacks, and they're not quarterbacks. They cannot put the ball where they need to put the ball. They have no accuracy whatsoever. They can throw the ball. They can throw the ball down the field all day long.
Now, some of you, I don't agree with some of your names that you put out there because I happen to like Tua and I think he's a very accurate quarterback.
I don't think he's accurate at all. I think he just slings the ball down there and hopes that it gets to where he wants the fucking ball to be.
You
Yeah,
okay?
I'm telling you that
he did.
I've watched him multiple times, and when he throws the ball, his head ain't even looking halfway where he's wanting the ball because he's throwing the ball like this with all of his damn body because he's only 5'8". Like he uses his entire body to throw the ball down the field. I'm
But
telling
he
you,
reaches
I've
quick.
watched football.
But
Lamar Jackson, the same damn thing. He's
Huh?
always constantly freaking running. And so whenever he throws, he's not on point. He's not accuracy. He's just now
Your
Tua,
most
he's got a softer touch. I'll give him that. He can put the ball,
you hear Evan over here with
you
that
know,
line of
to the left or the right of a receiver, whereas Lamar Jackson's just throwing it in the vicinity of the receiver. Lamar actually tries to overthrow his receivers because he likes Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews can just put his damn hands in the air and fucking pull the ball down.
Okay. Ready?
Or he likes to overthrow his receivers down the field so they can run underneath it and catch it.
One click.
Herbert's another one, man. Like he's not very accurate. If you're
He's not
talking,
accurate. No,
if you're
he's not
talking
accurate, but he has arm strength.
right.
Josh Allen is the same way. Josh Allen's not that accurate, but he's got so much damn arm strength.
I feel like
No.
you're the most accurate quarterback in the league right now, as far as being able to pinpoint. I'm not talking about percentage, right? I'm talking about
4 times.
being able to like legitimately throw the ball in a spot and do it
Back shoulder.
consistently.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joe Flacco, bro. He's also your oldest quarterback in the league.
Yeah. Yeah.
This dude,
And he's
like,
honestly probably the last of them that's going to be like that.
because of, like you said, the receivers, bro. Like these receivers are so fast now.
Okay.
All you have to do is throw the ball up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Speed is
that
taking
was,
over the game.
let's see, what was that?
Let me see this.
What game was that I watched where he threw the fucking ball up and then the guy
Drew Lock, because Drew Lock did all Monday night.
Yeah.
Drew Lock
was like
he
that.
threw the ball up all Monday night, bro. Like he got
Drew
lucky.
Lock,
He got lucky. He got receivers, bro.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what fucking game that was though.
Was it recent?
Yeah. It was like this past week.
Are y'all done?
You talking about a game where the quarterback was just tossing them up?
Goff is one of those pinpoint quarterbacks. He can back shoulder it. He can put it where he needs to be.
I mean,
Yeah.
so can Jordan
But
Love.
he
man.
hasn't.
Jordan Love isn't getting
He's just not consistent with it.
Jordan Love is another one, bro. I'm telling you right now.
He's building his way to that. Yeah.
But I mean, look at his throws though this year too. Like he's had some inaccurate throws, but like he's actually attempting to hit these pinpoint type throws. These other
I think the most accurate quarterback out there is Patrick Mahomes, and he's not accurate as far as he's putting the ball where he wants to put it. He's just putting the ball at the receiver. Like he's putting it within arm's reach, within arm's reach of a receiver. He ain't Tom Brady accurate. He's just body accurate. Wherever the damn guy is, he's throwing it to that guy.
See, Tom
whether
was
he's running this way, that way, you know. If you always notice, he will be running 100 damn yards and he will throw it some weird angle, but it will always be dead on to that body of the fucking person he's aiming at. And that is crazy to me. How you can be running backwards and then turn around, do a 360 and just whip the fucking ball out and hit the dude right in the damn chest. He hit Kadarius Toney in the chest that one time, and Kadarius missed the damn thing. It was like,
yeah, he's more like he's really more like Aaron Rodgers accurate and Aaron Rodgers prime.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is freaking like gunslinger, just put it on you, yeah. But Aaron Rodgers is also one of those guys that can pinpoint it like Brady can. He can put it back shoulder.
The no look pass. I mean,
Stafford created that shit. I can't stand how they say fucking Mahomes created that shit. Stafford had been doing that shit in Detroit.
Well, so was Rodgers.
Rodgers was doing it in Green Bay.
Yeah, it's crazy when they do it, man. But yeah,
I don't like the way the quarterback's going. I don't like the way it's going. Like, none of them are actual stars. If you look at any of these new class going in, the only reason why Patrick Mahomes is a star is because they've won 2 damn Super Bowls, and the dude is just
I don't know,
crazy
dude. Look,
how
no,
he can run in circles and three. Like
no, Mahomes is good. I mean,
Yeah.
he's
there's
good. That's
no
what I'm
doubt
saying.
in my
He's
fucking mind.
phenomenal. He's phenomenal. The dude could put the ball on a fucking receiver after running 360s in a damn circle for 10 minutes, and
I'm
then
gonna tell you right now, if they didn't have Mahomes, Chiefs wouldn't be in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, you're right. You know that, bro.
yes, 100.
They would be in the back. They would be the back of their division.
100.
If they
But
didn't have that.
honestly, I don't think they'll win a Super Bowl this year.
Probably not.
Nah.
But the majority of the wins they have are because of who they
I
have.
think they got lucky last year. I think that the first one, yeah. But you can see the weaknesses in their offense now.
What is this?
You can see it now. It's just get it to Kelsey or get it to one of these running backs because my receivers ain't gonna fucking do nothing with it. Like shit.
Well, you look at the 2 Super Bowl teams from last year.
Philadelphia.
Now, what do those 2 teams have in common?
Great quarterback.
No. Think about what they have in common from last year to this year. Eric Bieniemy is the offensive coordinator at Washington, and Shane Steichen is the head coach with the Colts.
Oh,
Look at how their passing game was last year
compared to this year. I think it's more roster when it comes to. I think it's more roster when it comes to Kansas City compared to when it comes to more just play.
Are you sure?
When it comes
Because
to Philadelphia,
they didn't have receivers last year.
Because Philadelphia has the same receivers they got as last year, whereas KC don't have the same receivers as last year. That's what I'm saying. I think
Who are they missing? Who are they missing? Juju?
they're missing Juju Smith-Schuster. They're missing McCole Hardman. They're missing.
Really?
Well, McCole Hardman's back
Actually,
now.
no. McCole Hardman is back with the Chiefs.
He's back now. Yeah.
And he still ain't did shit.
But there was somebody else they had too last year that they lost.
Watkins?
Who?
Or is he still there? Watkins? That's the only other one that I could think of. Was it
No,
Watkins?
dude. They've got damn near everybody.
No, it wasn't Quez
only
Watkins. Quez Watkins went somewhere else. I think
The only
it wasn't
thing
even
that
Quez
missed it-
Watkins. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
But no, it wasn't that guy. It was Juju and somebody else that left anyway. And Marquez Valdez, because they signed Juju, Marquez Valdez Scantling, and somebody else last year. They signed 3 receivers last year. 2 of them left. Boom. They kept Marquez. That offense ain't the same. I don't care what you say. It ain't the same. And yeah, you can say it's Eric Bieniemy all damn day, but if your receivers are not catching the friggin' ball,
Now, I'm not going to say it's completely.
that's not the offensive That's not the offensive coordinator's fault. You can't fucking catch the ball for them.
Okay, yeah, I get that. But I'm telling
we've already made it clear that Mahomes puts the ball where the fuck it needs to be, in vicinity of the receiver.
Rashee Rice is the addition that they made, and
In the draft,
he's coming on late in the season.
Yep.
But
Sky Moore is not living up to what his draft pick last year, and Kadarius Toney's not living up to him getting traded from last year.
Kadarius Toney is a typical Gator, dude. He's a typical Gator.
I know. How many Gator have really went on to be actual stars in the NFL? Fred Taylor, that's out. But Fred Taylor don't count because he's a Jaguar.
Smith.
He don't count. He's a Jaguar. He don't. He's not a Gator. He's a Jaguar.
Whatever. He was still a Gator.
Joe Hayden.
Who?
Joe Hayden. He was a defensive back for years.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He wasn't a star.
Like I said, who?
He wasn't a star, but he was a good, consistent player. I mean, that's all you can ask for in the NFL, really. NFL, not for long.
Who is it?
He's a Gator.
He played more seasons than Nick did.
Who was that tight end that played for the
Oh
Patriots?
man, that's fucking blasphemy right there. But did he do half the shit that Nick did in the time he was in there? Fuck
He did
no.
win a Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl.
Oh, now we're
So did
talking
Nick.
F-bomb.
So did Nick.
Hey, who was that tight end that played for the Gators and the Patriots?
Aaron Hernandez.
He was a star, just not in the right way, right?
Exactly.
he was a star in the NFL.
Wait. Let me guess the next one. Tim Tebow, right?
I mean, he was a star
Like,
too,
he was
right?
one of the greatest college players. Yeah, get the fuck out of there. I don't even want to hear all that.
He should have been a tight end.
Go in, okay?
He was great. He was a great college player. Man, get out of here.
I'm not on that Gator shit, bro.
Oh my god.
You won't
dude.
never hear me. I mean, outside of Fred Taylor was a beast, bro.
Ooh. There was a receiver. Oh my God, what was his name back in the day? Caldwell.
John, she wanted to come see you.
Caldwell was.
Andre Caldwell.
Cardwell.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah.
What do you got to pull next? Chris Collinsworth?
No.
Yes,
I'm a Florida State fan. Don't make me start naming Florida State boys.
Yeah.
Derek Brooks, Ward Dunn.
Hey, I can name Gator players. Kerwin Bell. I can go anywhere you want to with them. Emmett Smith. There
Duke
was
Dawson.
Renell Anthony. There was oh man.
The list is getting shorter.
Go on for days, man. I'm good.
Vernon Hargraves. Chris Leak.
Chris Leak, yep.
Danny Warfel.
Aaron
Danny Warfel, that's right.
I feel like Warfel was far better than Tebow. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh, I agree. I completely agree with you on that.
Had he not went to the Saints
Y'all crazy.
to get
Y'all crazy.
man, come on. We're talking.
Warfel was a
Tebow. Look, I don't give a damn what they say. Tebow will go down as the most inaccurate quarterback I have ever seen. Ever.
Oh my God!
That bitch could hit water if he fell out of a boat. I don't give a shit,
bro. I'm laughing with you. I'm not laughing against you because
two-time champion. I mean,
Tebow, look, he's not a traditional.
He was hitting them hands and them receivers and getting them championships. I mean,
that's like trying to say Cam Newton is a Hall of Famer, bro. Get out of here, dude. Cam
I
Newton,
didn't say that he's a Hall of Famer,
but
I did not say he's a Hall of Famer. I'm just saying he's better than Danny Werfel. That's all I'm saying.
He's not better than Danny.
I'm sorry, I just didn't like Danny. Danny Werfel. Danny Werfel had one good throw. One good throw.
Yes.
It was a 30-yard throw that only went 6 damn yards up the field. But it was from the right side of the field all the way back over to the left side of the field while he was scrambling, and he just came back and threw it back across the damn field. And like I said, it was only like a 6-yard damn play, but he threw it like Danny Werfel. That was the only good play Danny Werfel ever fucking had whenever he was for the Gators. Tim Tebow, they got a whole highlight reel of his ass.
Best play I ever seen Tebow make. I think it was where was it at? I think it was a game against Carolina.
It was a jump pass. His most accurate pass.
When he hit pro, and he was the Denver savior. Okay. Then he, I want to say
jump pass was in Denver,
something like that. He had a receiver that was in the back of the end zone. All he had to do was drop it into him. He threw that be about 20 feet up into the stands. He didn't even hit anybody on the field.
Hey man, when your adrenaline's pumping and you bench 400 pounds, sometimes you throw the ball to the fucking second deck of the damn stadium. I mean,
your quarterback, you better not. You better throw it through somebody.
Maybe he's seen something you didn't.
Right.
Maybe there was a demon trying to attack somebody in the stands, and he was getting the demon away from that person in the stands.
He was exercising the demons, huh? I got you.
He seen Jesus in the aisle, and he was trying to hit him.
Yeah.
Hit him for a long one.
Jesus is like, you don't need him. Give it to me, brother.
Someone's being accosted. I'm fixing to fix it. Bing!
Exactly. He's
Oh,
seen
buddy,
somebody.
hey, take
He's
off
seen a
running.
drunk. He's seen a drunk guy
John, is Aubrey still on there?
reaching in another
Yeah,
drunk
she's
guy's
on there
passed out
again.
pocket. There was a drunk guy passed out in the stands, and this other guy was fondling through his pockets, and Tebow was stopping that shit, man. He
Is that what
stopped the
that was?
robbery that damn game.
I
He
Stop
stopped the
it.
robbery
knew
that
something had
game,
to
and
give.
you trying to down him on that shit.
Well, you
You
know
trying to
what?
tell him he ain't good enough for you because he stopped the robbery?
If we're gonna roll
Like,
the footage back like that, that's fine. Fine. I give him that. He
Roll
was saving somebody's life. But guess what? It wasn't his coaches. Okay? I can tell you that right now.
man, the hot dog vendor was not listening to the little kid that wanted a hot dog in the front row. So he had to beam that man and get him fucking paying
Right?
attention to the damn kid. He was like,
Hey,
hey, the kid want a hot dog. The fuck you doing?
go ask what's the guy that was head coaching the Raiders that just got fired like mid-season? Started
Chucky.
Gruden.
was the Patriot.
Oh,
No,
no.
Patriot
McDaniel.
offensive.
Oh, McDaniel.
Yes.
Josh.
Yeah.
Josh
Go
McDaniel.
ask him what he thinks of Tim Tebow now. That's he hung his hat on him when he was in Denver, and that's what ultimately one of the choices that ultimately ended up him losing that job because he said, "Oh, I'm gonna make do with Tebow as my quarterback, and we're gonna run with Tebow." Oh, okay, go ahead.
They went to the playoffs, didn't they?
Man, a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then. Okay.
Brad Johnson went to the playoffs with the Bucks, and you think Tebow's worse than Brad Johnson? Nah.
No, Brad Johnson was a serviceable quarterback who could actually complete passes.
Obviously, Tebow was too. They went to the playoffs, didn't they?
Oh my God! You've been drinking your mama's Kool-Aid right there. Okay, that Tim Tebow train.
I'm gonna tell you, I've only been a Tim Tebow fan one time for about 5 minutes. I was driving through Gainesville, and I pulled up to this red light, and I'm sitting there at the red light, and it's in front of the University of Florida, and right there on the street, whatever. Nothing. You know who walked in front of a damn car? Tebow. And I honked the horn like, Tebow!
You should have put it in drive and run his ass over.
And then, and you know what he did? He turned, he waved to me, and he kept on going about his day. Good dude. Fuck the Gators.
No. Okay, so for all the BS that we sit here and talk, yes, he does seem like a good dude. I have no problem with him as a guy. But the problem I always had was them calling him quarterback. And that's the problem I had. I mean,
he's a Taysom Hill.
He's lacking. Now, could he
play,
have gotten better?
He can play quarterback, fullback, running back, tight end. He's a Taysom Hill.
But they didn't.
He could have been like Taysom Hill. He could have been a Taysom Hill.
They could have done him
but
better.
that was his own fault. And then he tried to wait too late to do that.
Yeah.
He went and played baseball for a bunch of years and all that shit. If he would have just adjusted at the beginning of his career when he was drafted, he would probably still be in the damn NFL right now. Because the way the motherfucker's playing 15 years now.
I'm gonna tell you, and it's like this with a bunch of players.
You got to be flexible when you get to the NFL.
Well, this
you got to be willing. You got to be willing to be nobody.
When you get to the league, for one, your college coaches and everyone else have done you a disservice if you already are not somewhat ready to play that position.
Right.
So when you get into the league,
I said Chip Kelly.
Yeah, right.
Look at all of the players that come out of his place.
When you get into the league,
Urban Meyer, what do you mean?
And you're not that good, that's like Michael Vick. Michael Vick couldn't pass. He
Yeah.
he was trying to throw it through everybody. He was inaccurate.
Yeah.
But what did they do? They kept running him out there and telling him, "Hey, go do what you do."
Right.
He run. That was all he knew how to do was run. They didn't do him no favors by showing him how to play.
No.
It wasn't until he got with
Same
Andy
thing for
Reid.
Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer did the same thing, man. Name me
he had his best
any
season
star
ever.
players that have come from an Urban Meyer offense except for Aaron Hernandez. I don't know any star players that have come from an Urban Meyer offense.
Jimbo Fisher, same way. Except for Dalvin Cook.
Well, I don't know Jimbo. I mean, Jimbo had Jameis, so I mean, but that's it.
Look at Jameis.
I don't even say the defensive side because I can't even think of defensive players. You know, he might have a few for Ohio State, you know, but he ain't got nobody from Florida that was a damn star.
No.
No, I agree with y'all.
So, but anyway,
I agree with that. There's some coaches that prepare for the NFL, and there's some coaches that just want to win championships in college and want to build their resume.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, whenever Mike Vick was with the Falcons, I wanted to choke Greg Knapp to death because he was the offensive coordinator at the time, and just to see the play calling. It was one of those deals where, okay, well, we got what we got. We're going to utilize him for whatever we can, you know, whatever best works for him.
We're going to do a shotgun with two. We're going to do shotgun with two going deep, one going across the middle, tight end running a drag. If you don't have the tight end, take off.
Yeah, it's a one look and go. You know, that's all it is. You're not making reads. You're not doing any of that.
I know Madden, the game Madden, they made that mofo
2007
than what he ever was in real life, bro.
Yeah, 2007 was like a cheat code for the Atlanta Falcons if you had Michael Vick. Like,
yeah, it was.
It was a cheat code.
He was like,
all you had to do was hike the ball and just run.
he was like Bo back in on Tecmo Bowl.
Yeah,
Bo Jackson. Yeah. Well, Barry was the same way in Tecmo. Bo and Barry, all you had to do was go backwards and then just start running forward.
Dipping and dodging everybody.
But you couldn't do that with Roger Craig. You couldn't do that with Emmitt Smith. But you could do it with Bo Jackson and Barry Sanders.
Bo was just lightning fast, dude. He was fast.
Man, dude, yeah. If it wouldn't have been for that damn hip injury, man, Bo would have been one of the greatest players of all time. Like, dude was a beast.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
He was friggin' Marshawn Lynch before Marshawn Lynch was thought of. Like, he was beast mode. Like, bitch, I'm gonna run by you. I'm gonna run by you, or I'll run you over. Like,
you are giving Marshawn Lynch a lot of props right now. That is.
Well, I'm just mean as far as the Marshawn was a beast in his prime, where he was throwing people off of him and keep on running. But Marshawn was not as fast as Bo Jackson. Marshawn was the beast. Marshawn was the beast side of Bo Jackson. He wasn't the speed side of Bo Jackson.
Right.
Like,
and you could tell that Marshawn,
because Bo Jackson would do the same thing as Marshawn, and he'd see a guy coming at him, and he would just be like, "Oh yeah, oh," and just run him over and keep on fucking going with them big ass fucking calves that look like Ron Gant's calves, like or Ron Gant's thighs or whatever. Remember Ron Gant for Atlanta Falcons? His thigh, he looked like a bodybuilder. His thighs were so damn built.
You talking about the Braves?
Yeah, for the Atlanta Braves. Yeah, Ron Gant. That dude had the hugest legs I've ever seen in my life, man.
Look like Mark McGuire's biceps, right?
I feel like Beast Mode shaped his game around Bo Jackson, bro, because he is from Oakland, you know what I mean? And so he was a Raiders fan.
Yeah, you damn right. He's seen Bo Jackson. He's seen Roger Craig. Yeah. He grew up over there in the West Coast, so he's seen them big boy running backs, and that's where, because Roger Craig wasn't a speedy back either. He was one of them, you know, I'll throw my shoulder to you if you get in my way. Like a lot of them running backs back then were them type of running backs. Not too many of them were the shifty type backs like Emmett and Barry. Hey, Christian Okoye for the Chiefs. He was I'm a powerhouse over your ass. Icky Woods from Cincinnati. I'm a powerhouse my ass where I need to be. Not Jerome Bettis, who was the one before the bus. Who was the running back before the bus for Pittsburgh? Bus basically did the same thing as him. They just come in and be powerhouse and just running me motherfuckers over. Like,
and that's a good question. I'm trying to remember who it was before
the bus, man. I'm telling you, he was with what's his face and the one that the guy that's an announcer now, or not an announcer, an analyst now on the sports show. Cower. Was it? No, it wasn't Cower because Bus was the running back during Cower's time.
Yeah.
Who was the
I don't remember.
Yeah, where the fuck? Oh, I'm using my phone. I was about to look that shit up.
Now I know after Jerome Bettis was
Rashad Mendenhall.
No, Mendenhall was garbage.
He was garbage, but I'm saying he was after the bus. But I know who you're talking about though. It was Le'Veon Bell.
No, before then was no. There was somebody in between. Parker.
Oh, you're right. There was somebody in between them.
Super fast Willie Parker. That's who it was. Willie Parker had a couple years where he was the guy. Now he was a speed back. He wasn't a run you over type guy.
Yeah.
He was more shifty and fast than anything else.
Well, the point is, the running backs back in the day were more big boy, run you over type running backs. Physical. That's why you've seen a lot of those bigger, white boy running backs like Peyton Hillis and Mike Allstott and shit like that, because that's how the old school running back used to be. It used to be a power guy that could get you 4 yards on a dive up the gap.
I mean, you had guys like, even back in the 70s and 80s, you had guys like Larry Zonka and freaking John Riggins. I mean, Harris was kind of a bulldozer back in the day.
Jim Brown, man. I mean, he'd throw his shoulder on you any damn time you came in his vicinity. Walter Payton, he was more of a shifty back, but he would throw his shoulder on you. Yeah, he'd throw his shoulder on you, and he would throw his shoulder on just one of you. He'd throw his shoulder on 3 of you, and just keep on trying to get through you. That's why they consider him
like that too.
What's up?
The Jags had a running back like that too before Fred Taylor. I forget what.
No, Fred Taylor was the original back for Jacksonville.
Well, they did for a short period of time. They had a running back that was drafted by the Chargers. Natrone Means.
Yeah.
He was a bigger back type guy. Yeah. He was pretty fast, and he
was the 1-2 punch with Fred Taylor before Fred Taylor took the job.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he came over to Jacksonville
in the expansion draft with Mark Brunell, and then Fred Taylor was drafted that same year in the college draft. They ran Natrone Means as the starter because he was already a pro, and they had Fred Taylor as their number 2 as the rookie, and then it just kind of went Fred Taylor the next year.
Tony Baselli first. Baselli was picked first.
Well, yeah, Tony Baselli was the first round pick. Yeah.
I just
Fred
remember
Taylor was the second round pick.
Footage of Means where
the first overall pick in the consolation draft was friggin' Mark Brunell.
Was it Brunell? I thought it was because they had.
It was John. Or no, you're right. It was John Henderson, the defensive tackle.
Yep, because
that's who it was. It wasn't even John Henderson. It was the other one. What's the other one's name? There used to be 2 big boys, John Henderson.
You're talking about Tony Brackens.
Brackens. That I think it was Brackens that they picked up.
Yeah,
And
he
then
was
they
out
got
of Texas, I think it was.
because they had them two. We had them two beasts of the defensive tackles where y'all couldn't run on us. We were stopping that shit.
Well, see, originally it was supposed to. Steve Berline was the big name that was supposed to be the quarterback at Jacksonville, but Mark Brunell ended up winning the job. He ended up taking that
Steve
job.
Berline was the dude that was from the Rams, right?
Dallas.
Oh, Dallas.
Yeah, shit.
I thought he was on the Rams at some point.
So that running back that you were hunting for in Pittsburgh before Bettis was Bam Morris.
Bam Morris. That's his damn name. Big Bam Morris.
Yeah.
I can't believe you couldn't think of Bam Morris. No,
I said
Bam
Charles.
Yep, he was at Texas Tech. He was a Red Raider. That's right.
I said Charles, and like I know it's way off, but my mind was there, bro.
But
I wasn't thinking Bam. I was trying to figure out his last name because I could see it. But yeah, they said they drafted. I forgot that he had gotten arrested, bro, and that's why they drafted Bettis.
Yep. Well, they had made the move.
And what was his last year, like 91, 92 or something like that?
It was 94.
No, actually, no, it was 90. Yeah, I was going to say it was later than that because I wasn't playing Pop Warner until 93, 94. Like,
yeah.
Y'all didn't hear what I said, did you?
No,
I said, I think y'all might have forgot we're still alive. It's all over.
oh, shit, we are still alive.
we only got an hour and a half over, everybody.
My bad.
All right, so we'll see y'all next week after.